What's up, guys, and welcome to another CREWCast short.
Hello.
And we are back in our BCB prototype t-shirts. Back print. Back print. If your t-shirt don't have a back print, you're wearing the wrong t-shirt, bro. So today we're back with another short for you guys, and we're back on track with all our recordings and everything.
We totally need to clickbait the fuck out of this. It's just
this is going to be
us becoming big steroid
Geary Gearisons.
Yeah.
So it's a TRT talk.
Yeah.
It's more of the thing. So Louis is in flow with his.
Yes.
And I'm going to tell you on here, I fucking started.
Yeah.
I fucking started. But I'm going to do a full YouTube video on it as well to explain what's going on, because I'm actually at a really good point where I'd had a load of time off training.
Yeah.
And obviously the injuries and stuff I've had kind of rehabbed. So it'll be a good point to see how my body changes.
Yeah, especially because the T in Lex's TRT stands for tren. Not testosterone. Tren replacement.
Tren replacement. Yeah, the testosterone was always just in there.
Yeah.
That would be the way of people doing it, wouldn't it? Yeah, I'm on TRT. Yeah. Trend replacement. Fucking hell. Yeah, redosing the trend, imagine.
So
that shit's supposed to be nasty. Dude.
Yeah,
I watch boys on it go from being normal humans to these coughing purple-headed messes who can't sleep, who are really horny but can't get a hard dick.
Yeah.
I was like, that sounds like fun, boys. Yeah, keep doing
terrible.
That.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't think I'd ever go down that route. I'm never saying never, but it seems a bit extreme.
Let's go with that, right? So you've been on it how long now? So
it's been exactly 4 weeks.
So you've been going a month. You're doing it once every 3 days?
So technically it's every 3 days one, 4 days the next, just because of how I need to split it, because I'm doing 2 administrations across the week. So I do a Monday and a Thursday.
And you're taking 125 milligrams a
150.
week. 150 milligrams.
Yeah, so doing
so you're going slightly upper.
Yeah, I'm doing 75 milligrams each administration, so 150 per week.
So per month, that's something at 500 mgs, is it?
I don't know what it would work out over the month.
But if you compare this, just to give you so roughly a ballpark figure of around about, you got 150, let's work this out. You're doing 150 a week over 4 weeks. So 600.
600.
Okay. Now, so that's 600 milligrams of using a testosterone. Is it enanthate?
Yeah.
So enanthate is the fast?
No, it's a slower releasing one. Yeah.
What's the fast acting one?
I don't know.
Oh, come on, we can think of this.
I know cypionate.
That's it. Yes, you're right. So what that means is the enanthate one, it has a slightly longer half-life, so it sits in the system a little bit longer, whereas a cypionate one obviously breaks down much faster. So by having the enanthate, what you're doing is creating a smoother peak and drop of the testosterone levels.
Yeah.
And with your basically once every 3 days kind of administration, you're keeping that peak nice and smooth, not letting it dip too much, not getting too much of a peak with a drop. So
I think
keep creating a nice natural undulation.
I was going to say, I think the half-life of it is 2 weeks or something like that.
Is it
I'm sure it's like 10 days to 2 weeks, and a half-life is basically the amount of time it takes a drug to reach 50% concentrations in your system, but then half-life isn't half the time it takes to get out your system. It's actually 5 half-lives before it's gone.
Oh yeah, so half-life is when it's deteriorated by 50%, then it has to do it again and again and again.
Yeah, so it doesn't
until it's gone.
Yeah, it slowly then tapers off and stays in your system for quite a long time. Yeah. So that one administration, although the half-life, say it's 10 days to keep it simple,
probably going to be actually 40 to 50 days.
Well, it'll be 50 days, by the time it's completely out your system. So there's that overlap. So obviously multiple administrations, so it's slowly ramping up. So they say 4 to 6 weeks is where you should actually start to feel it. So
this is where you have the build-in time. So what am I now? Because I started, when did you start? I wasn't far behind you. Week?
Yeah, I don't know exactly when it was.
Because I had all the injuries. I wanted to start it way before you. Yeah. And then everything fucked up.
Yeah.
With,
You've just, I don't know.
Mine's just been super, it was all over the place.
Well, I know that mine, because I did my first injection on my 30th birthday.
Oh, yeah, you did, yeah.
So I did it literally on the day of my birth. Yeah. And because I just thought then it's a perfect time to remember it forevermore. So that's where I'm at. I'm going to be getting my bloods done again in 2 weeks' time. So I'll get my bloods done at the 6 week mark.
So we'll do a comparison of those. And we'll see where you're at. I think you're going to be slightly high.
Yeah.
At 150 milligrams.
Well, I wanted to be at the top end of normal, because I'm not just doing this I am doing it partially to replace, but also I want more out of what I'm currently doing. I don't want. I'm not trying to do this to get exactly the same
That's what
results.
I was going to say. Let's just give you a comparison. So Lou's done 600 milligrams in an entire month. Okay, I'm actually been put on 500 milligrams because my testosterone naturally was already really high.
Yeah.
So I don't need. I've actually been put on 125.
Okay.
A week, so mine's less than you.
Yeah.
But I might, like you said, when I'm going down the line, knowing it's still healthy, just keep it over the top.
Yeah.
Just see. But what I'll see is I'll see where my physique lands in like 3 to 5 months, and then decide from there and see. Maybe I'll do that 3 to 5 months. See where that's at, like when it's really nice and kind of plateaued out to a controllable point, and then say, okay, how much does 25 milligrams more difference actually make?
Yeah.
And I can keep everything the same and only just change that one thing and see how much impact that has.
Because I know that people do get prescribed up to like 175 a week, but that's like very top end,
that's high.
which is, you'll definitely be above physiological levels at that point.
But to give them comparisons, so lose on 600 milligrams a week, 600 milligrams a month. Guys doing bodybuilding are taking 2 grams a week.
Yeah.
That's 2,000 milligrams of gear
some
a
are
week.
doing more than
that. That's not the worst you'll hear.
Yeah.
Just to give
like
you a fucking,
normal-ish.
just to give you, and some of those guys are not professional bodybuilders. Some of them are the 10 stone soaking wet.
I remember some of the
plonkers
things
in the gym.
we were hearing about, and some of these people that literally didn't even look like they're lifting it, and they're on grams of gear.
So I know it sounds kind of aggressive that, you're injecting testosterone and that it's an actual exogenous hormone you put into your body, but just to give you a perspective on that level, 125 to 150 milligrams a week compared to 2,000, which some normal average looking blokes are banging into themselves.
I'll be
without the work ethic and the food and the nutrition, everything on point, this TRT thing ain't going to do shit to you.
No, not at all.
It's giving us a kick up the fucking arse to really dial ourselves in.
Yeah, I think it's going to be interesting at the 6-week mark. So at that point, everything should have reached kind of peak concentrations. That should be then nice and stable.
Yeah.
It'll be interesting to see how much of a difference it's going to be, because the thing that I've kind of learned a little bit more about is not the same dose doesn't manifest in everyone the same way. So somebody could be injecting a certain amount.
Yeah.
2 people could be injecting the exact same amount. They could both then go off and get their test measured and get 2 completely different results.
Very,
because
very
how your body metabolizes it.
Well, it's
they're
all
completely
to do with your current amount of muscle mass, what your nutritional impact has from day to day, like how well are you eating, also what are you eating, how bioavailable is everything going to be within your system, genetic dependence as well. It's like, how open is your system to reacting with testosterone, how much free testosterone have you got compared to bound testosterone. There's a whole load of factors that are going on there. But what we should see with the TRT levels is that we have a higher level. This is where the difference is. So even you're kept in a natural range, technically, even if you're kept in the upper one, you're still going to have an unnaturally high level of free testosterone.
Yes,
and that's what helps you maintain this more, I would say...
Well, there's more testosterone to be used for anabolic purposes, in terms of hypertrophy purposes.
It definitely gives you more of an anabolic uplift, regardless of the fact that you're still within a natural range technically.
Because my SHGB was sex hormone binding globulin. That was quite high, which is one of the things that takes away a lot of your free T.
Yeah.
If your SHBG is high and your total T is still high, your free T might actually be low because there's so much sexual hormone binding globulin.
It's unusable.
Yeah, but so when you start pinning, externally,
look at you with the lingo.
Yeah, that's
pinning, bro.
Well, I don't know. Is that what you call it?
Pinning it, bro.
Isn't it? I don't know. You made me feel embarrassed.
Put the tail on the donkey. Pin the tail on the
Well, it's so much smaller than what I expected. I know I'm obviously doing TRT doses, but so the 75 milligrams, on the needle, it's like that. If you look at it, it's like not even the equivalent of a pea.
It's probably, if you take a centimeter measurement, and that's broken down into roughly 5 segments of 2 mils each, it's probably 3 mil of a centimeter, 3 millimeters.
No, it's more than that.
4 millimeters.
It's more than that. It's like, if I was to say it's like a small pea. That's the amount that's going in twice per week. 2 little peas, and you're like, that is Even if
because you're not doing it every day, are you?
Yeah.
So the difference is between me and Lou. I'll obviously go into full one on my video and everything with this when I launch it on YouTube. I'm trialing every day, microdosing.
Yeah.
Whereas you're doing the 3-day one.
Yeah, I just did it out of because I didn't I thought I want to try and get away with what's the most sustainable. If I can get away with just doing it twice a week, that's easily manageable for me.
Yeah.
But the difference with so if I just pinned once a week or did a bigger dose every 2 weeks, because I could in theory.
Oh, you can. Yeah.
You'll have a big spike and then a drop off. And with these big spikes, you get big spikes of everything else. So your estrogen would shoot up and that's where you get side effects. So people that microdose daily, if you're like very prone to having like estrogenic side effects, which I was concerned I might because I already had high estrogen, that was one of my concerns. So I thought twice a week
My estrogen was quite low, I think.
Yeah.
Quite normal.
Yeah. But I was like 1 point away from the top of the reference range.
Yeah.
So I thought twice a week is definitely easy to do, but it's like a middle ground. It's not super frequent and it's not infrequent. And I was like, if I do start to have any estrogenic side effects, which as of right now feel absolutely nothing in my nipples, like no. Some people get like itchiness or stuff like because my dose is
TRT.
Yeah, some people get estrogenic side effects.
Jesus, they must be really bad for estrogen.
But it's something to be aware of, and especially if you're prone to it. I don't know, mate, I'm just being overly cautious.
Well, here's the problem, though, is to not be too overly cautious that you're poking your nipples every day, and then after a week being like, I can feel my nipples are hurting. Yeah, because you've been poking them every day.
Yeah. Other things like, having outbreaks of spots and stuff like that.
Yeah, because you see, well, Psych Substance has that.
Yeah.
He had a real outbreak, and so they dropped him down because he's on TRT now through Derek from More Plates, More Dates. Advised him to get on it after his kratom addiction.
Yeah. So but so far, like if I'm honest, so within a few days I noticed my sleep improved, but not the quality of my sleep. I just felt better rested.
So maybe you're in a deeper sleep quicker?
Yeah, quite possibly. I don't know exactly what it is, but I know a few people said when they start TRT, it's fairly quick.
Well, no, I doubt your recovery would have improved already.
I don't know exactly what was the mechanism, but I felt like from the exact same amount of sleep, I was just more rested from it. And that was definitely the initial thing that I picked up on. In terms of training and performance, as of right now, no noticeable
you won't see
difference.
anything for at least, I'd say 6 to 8 weeks.
Yeah, it's like I said, it's week 4 now. So yeah, it'll be really interesting to be fair as well, this week I've been fucking battered because I've just been doing loads of training, working in my garden. I'm just crippled. So probably not a good week for me to even be doing this video in terms of giving an honest answer. But I think we'll maybe do another short at maybe just after the 6 week mark when I've got my bloods done again. Yeah. See where we're at. For
me, the reason I'm continually doing it this way is microdosing daily. I want to mimic the most natural fluctuation of testosterone peaks and troughs. So by dosing in the morning and creating that slight peak in the morning that will taper then through the day is the way that the normal system would work on waking on testosterone's higher, which again is why it's a benefit to train in the morning as well, because once you're in there, you're really dialed in because you've got that extra little bit of test flying around your system to get you that kind of animalistic, fuck you, get going. And I just think for me, for my mood, I don't want any point of having a high to a low.
Yeah.
Because I just think I would be super focused in high and then super unfocused in the low. And with the nature of the way my brain is, with that kind of ADHD spectrum of me having a hyper focus, I think I would really react negative in those low periods of just getting fuck all done. And in the high periods, I think I'd get tetchy because I'd be so super focused on stuff that any interruptions would bug me. Yeah. So I don't want to risk that and like irritating people around me. So that's why I want to do the more natural undulation. And it's a bit more.
As of now, obviously 4 weeks in, I've not noticed any highs or lows or ups or downs. Again, whether it's just because the dose is so small, it's not necessarily going to have that much of an impact. But that's something that I was concerned about, of like feeling like I was going to crash. But I think because
you won't know.
There's so much overlap. You don't chop. There's so much overlap of them that because it takes so long to taper down, even 3 days apart.
I think 3 is fine. Honestly, I think it is.
So
here's the thing. How were you about sticky? Because I've used BPC at the moment I got hurt and stuff like that. And I've used BPC in the past, which actually uses the same needles as what we're using for this, which is their insulin needle. It's actually the same needle they used on me for Botox. It's like the go-to thing for all these microdose things. So for me, because I've used BPC to like heal rotator cuff, fucking bicep, and BPC, you have to inject yourself every single day, sometimes twice a day if it's a bad injury.
Yeah.
So for me, I was just fine, no bother. But now you had a genuine issue with a needle.
Yeah, so I'm not scared of needles at all. Like
the idea of it.
Yeah, it was more the idea because you're doing it to yourself.
Yeah.
Because obviously you're hardwired to not want to hurt yourself. Obviously, you know, that's kind of built in, and also bear in mind this insulin needle actually does not hurt at all. But like on my birthday when I had it there and I was stood there with my ass out and I was just like, it must have taken me a good few minutes at least of me like going like, all right, go on, Lewis, 1, 2, 3. Nope, you haven't done it. Okay, all right. We'll try again. Right, okay, gonna stick it in 1, 2, 3. Nope, you still haven't done it. And it was just the idea of actually like pushing this needle through your skin.
I remember the first one when I did it, I had to stick it in my shoulder because that was what was fucked. Yeah. And at the time, the theory was with BPC that you would put it as close to the injury as possible to help with heal. They've now realised that's actually, you don't need to do that if it's an awkward place. There's going to be no harm doing it. There might be an benefit, but they haven't, from studies shown, they think it's systemic anyway.
Okay.
It works. Yeah. So the worst thing was if you do, like, you don't go in properly, like you don't commit to the whack, is you then end up almost doing like a pullback double jab.
Yeah.
So you kind of go stab, stab. Yeah, and it doesn't actually go in enough to do anything. Yeah. So you just end up kind of like hurting yourself for no reason to then have to do it all again. Yeah. And that happened to me on the first one. And so since after that, I just went, and then then that was too aggressive. Yeah. And so then eventually you realize, it just doesn't feel anything. You don't even feel it.
Yeah, if you literally just like do that quite lightly, I've noticed going in not fast, but faster is better than slower.
Just with the conviction.
Yeah.
Like a smooth bing.
Yeah, because I did a few and then...
Did you wiggle it around, didn't you?
No, I did one and I did it too slow. I almost like pushed in and then it just broke the surface and I was like, oh no, I've got to do it really slowly now. And I was like,
Well, here's the thing. You only have the pain receptor in the epidermal layer, really. Yeah. Once it's in, you won't really, unless you hit a nerve or something.
I did have one that bled.
You will get something that bleeds. I'm sure it's not going to be blood free all the time because it's going to be...
Oh no, it was just only like a little...
Like a bead, bead of blood,
and that one was a bit uncomfortable. I don't know if I clipped a vein or something. I don't know.
Possibly a small vein,
but because I'm aiming for ventriglute, which is like high up, or it's almost like
if you quarter the butt cheek, they tell you to do the top right quarter, don't they?
Yeah, but there is actually quite a small target area. Yeah. And I think I might have missed it. So
also, you've got to not stick. Especially myself, because I'm doing it daily. Yeah. You've got to rotate where you're doing things because even though these are tiny little needles, they are still causing, obviously, they're penetrating the skin and still causing damage to the skin and the cells that they are passing through, even though it's minor. Yeah. But you create minor damage enough times over a 12-month period on the same spot, it's going to cause an issue. Yeah. So you have to switch. But are you sticking to just butt cheeks or are you doing shoulders as well? Because they say you can do butt, shoulder, shoulder.
No, I'm just doing butt.
I'm the same. Yeah. Because I don't want to stick it in my shoulders because I feel like it might cause, I don't know, like...
I get a little bit of ache.
Site-specific, pain, because there's so much, we move so much from the shoulder joint. I was like, if you...
I like that little dance.
Yeah, but if you put it there and like just irritate something, like...
No,
then is it worth it? I don't think
I'd never go for my shoulder.
And you've got that big vein. Right? I've got a big vein.
Yeah, you do. I don't. I'm too fat.
But you know when you train and get lean, all your shoulders get veins going all over them.
Yeah, I think as well, if anything went, because obviously there's risk of infection on anything, I just wouldn't want it to be anywhere that was going to be visible then. Because if you then end up with like a big abscess on your shoulder because something got infected, if it's on your ass, it doesn't matter. Your ass is always covered. Or again, literally worst case scenario, and
they've got to cut it out. Yeah,
they literally need to cut it out. True. I wouldn't want that to be somewhere that's going to be visible. It'd be quite annoying.
I'm sticking to the butt cheeks
after
that one.
I do get, like, it's definitely lessened. The first probably, I don't know, how many have I done? Well, I've done 4 injections per side. And now they're starting to I'm barely feeling them. But at first, I would ache for it wasn't bad.
Mine's hit and miss.
It was like a dead leg almost.
Some are zero feeling. Yeah, the other one is I got a dead butt on one of them. But I also...
Dead butt.
Pretty much went and sat down to edit straight afterwards, and I think that was a bad idea.
Yeah.
So I think it's better to do it then move around for half an hour before plonking yourself all your weight on wherever it is.
Yeah, well, for me, Monday and Thursday, they're both training days, so I do it, get up, I'll do
do you think
25-minute walk and then train?
Taking it before training is going to give you a boost in your training?
Not at the levels we're taking.
Damn it.
No, because, so there's one thing I was looking at. So if you really wanted to mimic the like proper kind of circadian rhythm, there's test suspension. So there's no ester attached to it, so it's instant. Like it's just you get it all. It just peaks and then drops off, which is actually closer to what we get, like a pulsatile kind of pulse of testosterone in the morning, and then it just drops off throughout the day.
Yeah.
And then next morning, big pulse drops off. So yeah, test no ester or test suspension. Apparently, I don't know if they're water based or something, but apparently they're quite painful.
Anything that tends to be fast acting is put in a water base for whatever reason.
Yeah, so you can get that. That apparently you'd feel like a.
I assume it is because if they're in the oil, they are slower to break down, get into the system. And
Yeah,
break
because
down,
if you've got, even if you injected the exact same amount, so for me, for 75 milligrams, that 75 milligrams is being slowly released over 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Whereas if I just did no ester, that'd be 75 milligrams, just like bam.
Yeah.
Which is quite a lot for just an instant.
So you could take that before a fight or something.
Yeah.
And that would give you a big.
Well, there is pre-workout androgens, isn't there? Like that's something.
I wonder how quick that's in that system. I wonder if that's what fighters used to use.
Potentially.
Before like they were all tested off and
I don't
everything
know
like that. I wonder if that's what they're doing in like one championship, wherever it is they don't test anymore, that Russian one. Where they just bang, instant test and
I
them,
think
kick them out.
most of them now, as long as they're choosing bioidentical hormones, they're not the testing's not strict enough to catch them anyway. It's only if you put something that literally just is never produced in the body.
Yeah.
Because with the bioidentical hormones, they're doing all these things with like your what's the passport thing? Like it's your hormonal passport.
Okay.
So basically, that like over the years of your drug testing, they build up an idea of the numbers that you have. So if anything's different for you.
Well, that was how they were
when it
going to
flags
test for
something.
growth hormone, wasn't it?
Yeah.
You had to test over like a 6 to 12 month period.
So that's your I can't remember. There's a word for it, but it's
So
something.
they've done that with
passport.
all hormones now, huh?
Well, I don't know if it's all, but like that's how they test for like bioidentical ones or a more accurate way of doing it.
guys in the UFC I just don't see them even getting away with anything anymore over there. They're so fucking on it. They're so on it. I do think it's a pretty clean sport there now.
Yeah, I think it's definitely better. I still think there are definitely going to be people doing it.
I don't think they're going to be doing like the
It's not going to be done.
testosterone stuff. I think they'll be using more like what TJ did with the EPO and stuff like that. I think it's going to be performance enhancing in different aspects other than musculature.
Yeah, well, they've had like people on blood transfusions and things like that, which is there's loads of massive like benefits to this, and like I don't
Have you seen
they've
they've done that? They've put they took mice. Yeah. They took a mouse blood, put it in an old mouse, and it had anti-aging effects in the older mouse.
Oh wow.
Literally.
So we're going to be draining babies.
And they took the blood from the older mouse and put it in the younger mouse, and it had aging effects on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
It'd be really interesting.
That is interesting to think in the future. If you think you could have young people donating blood, older people having transfusions on a regular basis, and it has literal anti-aging effects.
Yeah. Get rid of all of my old shit and replace it with some new stuff.
Get it back in
I wonder how long it stays in your system before it just gets old, though.
I don't know. Well, if you did it enough, imagine if having it once a month, eventually you'd just be clean, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
Youthful again. I genuinely think they're going to come up with something that really.
Well, there's that stuff where we've completely gone off topic, but where they, I remember Imran talking about it, and they spin your blood and it separates.
Oh yeah, use a centrifuge and
and it's not like that.
The plasma.
It's like
plasma.
that growth.
Yeah.
It's like a peptide, but it's like your own, literally from your own body, and then you can inject it back into certain areas, and it's literally like growth factors.
Yeah, I want to say stem cells, but that's not the right word. It's not the right. It's
That's
not the
fucking
right
crazy.
But it's
that
a
you can do that.
similar thing. Yeah, I think it's the plasma that you get from it, and they can inject that back into kind of like discs in your spine and stuff like that to help rejuvenation.
Yeah. I know he said he was injecting into his
scalp for hair. Yeah.
So it's crazy.
They're coming up with some cool shit. Aren't they?
Imagine if you just bought, like, if you could just buy one of them machines just to spin it, just take a little bit of blood, spin it around. Where do I want it? It's like, my elbow's feeling a bit dodgy. There we go. Bang.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
Hopefully one day that is the case. And it gives some people a bit of an easier life from suffering all the time.
Yeah. So
there we go.
As a bit of a summary.
Summary of your first month on the TERT.
Performance enhancing as of right now. Nothing. Can't tell.
What about mood enhancement?
Maybe slightly, but it's definitely nothing too drastic. The sleep was the one thing that I noticed pretty much immediately. It's been a real hectic couple months anyway, so like it's so hard to tell because there's so many variables.
I think there's going to be a lot of placebo stuff over the first month where it just, for the fact that you're doing it, puts lights a fire under your ass to get in and train and do shit properly.
Yeah.
I know that's what it's kind of helped me do mentally. I've even started taking protein shakes again since like literally 2 weeks ago now. And prior to that I remember I was saying I wasn't just fucking hated them, didn't like them.
Yeah.
Then got the My Protein Clear Whey, which is the juice stuff, which I
Yeah.
think is the fucking future of protein shakes. I'm not going to lie. I don't have any chocolate, nothing anymore. Everything's either blood orange, orange and mango.
I've not tried the blood
I've got a
orange
black
one.
cherry one now. We'll try that when we go downstairs now.
Yeah.
I haven't opened it yet.
No, I've not tried that
I'm
either.
gonna try that.
I need to order some more actually. I've gone through my mojito and I had that rainbow candy one.
Oh, yeah.
I keep rainbow candy at the gym.
Yeah.
That's a nice one.
If you do need your My Protein stuff, make sure to check out My Protein. Use Lex Fitness, and it will get you. I've got it now so that my code gets you the maximum off with whatever the fuck's going on. So it'll either if whatever's on the site is like 80% off, mine will match it or beat it by like a couple of percent. But if it only matches it, it's because that's the maximum they can possibly give off something. Yeah. So if you use my code, you're maxing out whatever discounts available completely because it'll either beat it or match.
Great.
So there we go. So overall, happy.
Yeah, very happy.
Very easy, very adaptable into your lifestyle.
Yeah, I think I'm just trying to keep open minded, and I'll see how. I'm going to see where I'm at the 6 week mark with my bloods. And
when you come in at the 6 weeks, I will be at the first month
Yeah.
of consistent dailies.
Yeah.
So we'll I'll be able to see where I'm at in that.
Are you going to get bloods done at 6 weeks as well, or
Oh,
are
I could do.
you,
Yeah.
Or are you
I'll
going to do
that.
4 weeks or what?
I'll do it at 4 weeks.
Yeah.
Why not? Could do.
Sound. Yeah, we'll be able to give you an update then.
Yeah.
But the plan is I'm just going to do this for, like you were saying, kind of 3 to 6 months, see how everything levels out, because obviously these changes, again, because it's such, it's barely above where we were at before, they're not going to be a drastic overnight change like you see these kind of crazy steroid transformations.
No,
that ain't going to be us.
But I do think there will be a considerable change in how you look in the gym when you're pumped, because I do believe we're going to have a higher level of nitrogen retention throughout the day as a result of having more free test and that higher level of like anabolic activity going on.
Yeah.
So I do think over time we will look better consistently just through the day, and then in training there's going to be I think there'll be a point in training if you're taking a pump enhancer.
Yeah.
If you're taking like what I take, it's called pump enhancer literally from My Protein. There's no stims in it, so it's just beta alanine and the malate, citrulline malate and stuff, and I react really well to that stuff. Yeah. And I've already noticed when I started taking the pump stuff that my retention for that pump in the gym, it gets there quicker, and I maintain it really well afterwards. So I'm starting to. That's the only thing I've seen really. It's
gonna be a lot more pronounced on you because your body fat's a lot lower than mine.
Yeah, that will be a thing to see.
Because
well,
I'm still probably 20% body fat, so I look maybe a bit fuller, but it's not like it's definitely. Pumps just aren't as noticeable, are they, when you've got high body fat?
No.
Just you lose a lot of that. So although the plan is now, I weighed in at 93 kilos today, and I think I am going to just slowly start dieting down, because in the future do potentially want to look at doing a BJJ competition, and I'm too heavy. Yeah. I'm way too heavy for I'd be in super heavyweight, which is ridiculous.
Sound.
Yeah, exactly. Like. So I need to drop down to get to like.
He's going go TRT.
Yeah.
No,
not working.
No.
Yeah. So I'd need to get to like at least high 90s. Sorry, high 80s would be like the minimum.
I still think you're getting crushed by big fuckers at that weight, mate.
Yeah, well that's going to be that's going to still be heavyweight. So
What's
I think
Goddard weigh?
Gasket, you mean?
No, Goddard.
Oh, no
Mark
idea.
Goddard.
No
What
idea.
does he weigh? Because that'd be interesting to see. Because he is a behemoth.
Yeah, I imagine he'll just be in the open weight, because you've got super heavies, and I think it's just open weight, so you could be up to 150 kilos.
I can't even imagine weighing that much.
Yeah.
Crazy. Anyway, that's off topic.
Yeah.
So there we go. Overall summary. Happy with it.
Do drugs, kids.
Do drugs, kids. We'll catch you in the next CREWCast short. Toodle pip.
Bye.